don't want to. You don't gotta do it if you don't want to. You don't gotta do it if you don't want to. It's just a suggestion.
Come on. My palms are red.
Red from trying to slap flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do the clappy claps.
Welcome back to the conversation. I'm letter K. With me, of course, is Psych. There's nobody else. And we are continuing and concluding our conversation topic today on friendships. Last time we talked a lot about friendships.
We did.
We did a lot. I think.
The qualities, the criteria, the characteristics people should be looking for. Is it reciprocal or not? What are you gaining from it? Should you continue? And the why? Why do you?
So
why even bother?
Yeah, why even bother? That's my question. You know me, as a staunch introvert, why even bother comes up a lot. I don't find the need to engage with as many people. I think that when I was younger, I was trying too hard because I didn't really understand. As I'm older, I can literally function on our bi-monthly podcast recordings and hanging out with my wife. But I know that that's not super healthy. And I do have people that I really love and want to spend time with. I just need to work on it. So we all know that I call that friendship maintenance.
You do.
I
know it.
That's my thing. I do it with a lot of people, and I'm very open about that. So maybe that's a good way to start. So friendship maintenance. If you feel like you need to spend time with people, like you have friends that you need to spend time with, you probably need to spend time with them. And it's a terrible, terrible term, friendship maintenance, that I coined. But it's not because I don't want to spend time with these people. It's more because I get so stuck in my routine. And it doesn't bother me. I don't feel the need to go out and do things like some people will. Like my cousin used to say, if he can't maintain his level of attractiveness and go out and meet new people all the time, he's not happy. And so extroverts.
Okay. Maintain his level of attractiveness.
He would always say, if you're single, you have to stay attractive. You have to have a flat stomach. You've got to have muscle definition. You have to be attractive. Otherwise you can't go out. It was kind of his thing. But for me, I do have a flat stomach now, and I do have some pretty good muscle definition. It's decent at least. But I don't need to go out and show it to people. I don't really care. But there are people that I constantly find myself wishing I regret not spending more time with certain people. And it's the field is narrow. So to that end, before we started recording today, I was texting my old bass player buddy, and I was telling him about how I wanted to spend more time with him because I'm doing this podcast and it's making me think about it. And it's just a fun piece of camaraderie that he sent me this image. He's actually on his anniversary date with his wife right now.
Oh, very nice.
Very nice. So congratulations to Basie J and his lovely bride on their anniversary. But I commented on this photo by saying, blush wine and Winnie the Pooh. That's some soccer mom shit if I ever seen it. Which he berated me heavily. He told his wife, who texted me, and thought that was hilarious. But the point I think I'm trying to make is friendship maintenance. If you want to stay friends with somebody, I mean, you don't necessarily have to engage them daily, hourly, all the time, because true friends are people that you can pick up the relationship at any point. You don't have to constantly be working at it because you've established the love of pure friendship. Jim and I haven't spoken. I don't think we've spoken since. So we all went to Santa Cruz together. You know, me, my wife, him, his wife, and that was what, July.
Mm-hmm.
And he and I have quite the history. We've spent a lot of time together. We've released 2 albums together, and a bad EP, which has some really fun stories. We've done a lot. We have a lot in common. You know. I love the man. I do. But we don't need to engage constantly.
No.
And so it's on my end. I'm the one that starts to feel like I'm not doing my part, and so that's where I engage in friendship maintenance.
Interestingly enough, just a couple of weeks ago, so I was looking into some audio gear, which I showed you just before we
You weren't just looking into it.
hit record. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
It was, I'm committed.
You've committed yourself.
I have committed. And my old bass player,
Yeah.
he's in the industry and he's been around a while. I sought him out and I was asking for advice. And we did pick up right where we had left off. Old roommate and old bass player, bandmate, and a friend, a long-term old friend. And yes, we don't do anything together now. We live in different cities. He's working far away, doing something, very different than what he once was, but we still have the same foundation, right? If you can live with somebody, right? If you have roommates, some of my closest friends, my early 20s, were my roommates. I had 4 of them. We lived in this bachelor pad. The bachelor pad.
If you can get along with people you live with, that is a testament.
Yes. 5 guys, 1 house, 3 bedrooms.
No burgers.
2 bathrooms, and a kitchen we used sometimes.
Yes. So I never did the bachelor pad lifestyle. I didn't move out of my parents' house until I was serious with my then girlfriend, now wife. So I never had that. Not that I pined for it, because I got to live the white picket fence life. But yes, so let me ask you this: of these 5 guys, the 4 guys that you lived with in this apartment or in this house, do you have anybody who you can't pick up where you left off? Like you don't have that same level of comfort that you have with your bass player buddy?
No, I think we could all just jump right back in and be right there. And many of these people I haven't talked to in years.
Yeah.
And we could just, if we met, I tried to do a kind of a reunion. I put it out there to people and see if anybody got.
And they were like,
interested.
New phone, who dis?
No, they knew who it was. But for whatever reason, I didn't follow through at the time. And now I'm thinking about it. I mean, who knows?
It's a good
but
side
those,
conversation.
I mean, those are people that were near and dear to me, right? There was 3 of us living in the master bedroom of that house.
That is close quarters.
We had bunk beds.
So good.
And
that is an experience.
And a twin bed in the corner and bunk beds off to the side in an L configuration. And the bottom bunk was a full-size bed, not a twin. And I was on the top bunk.
So you got the small one.
I got the small one, and I had to travel the farthest to my bed.
And you were an athlete, so you're fine.
And I remember rising early in the morning to my alarm clock that set me off like dynamite.
Then you roll off onto your buddy or what?
Yeah. Well, once I jumped off and I was like, oh no, and I had to do a barrel roll mid-flight to not get clipped by him in the bed that was under me that was quite larger.
I could imagine.
Those are good times.
I could imagine you struggling with the concept of an alert to wake up.
Yes.
Yes. But so for me, God, again, this is the opposite. For me, there's so many people that I know and that I spent so much time with that if I seen them on the street or if they reached out, it would be like, we'd have to feel each other out, be cordial. Hey, how you doing? How you been? Woo, 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 that kind of stuff. I do have people like, my bass player, Bassy J.
Yeah. Well, the guys I was just mentioning, I played in the band with them. We played for years together.
Yeah.
And we lived together. So that's,
yeah,
Bandmates
are like family. Whether you
your
like it or
music
not.
sucks. You missed that bar. Your timing is terrible. Like, right? You could talk to people like that.
We could do a whole series on being in a band and how it's like being married to the number of people in your band.
Yes, it is a relationship like no other.
I mean, I was in a 6-person band and I got some stories. Definitely got some stories.
1, 2, 3, 4. I think there was 5 of us.
Yeah.
Drummer, lead singer, bass player.
And then 2 guitars. Lead and rhythm. Yeah. And we were the same way, but we had a rapper and a DJ. So we had the extra person was the DJ. It's good times. But my point is that, so how do you know these are the people? These are the ones. Does it go back to the core values, the loyalty, the reciprocating relationship tenets?
I think nowadays people would probably find that answer in, wait a second, they're not this, all these red flags, there's none. And we're kind of enjoying our time. But I can't really put a finger on why. And I think nowadays people accept that.
Yeah.
That's good enough. No red flags. We're having a good time. And let's just keep going.
For me, I think so. It's for me, it's more of an emotional response. If you have a really close friend, like you said, you don't have to spend every waking moment with them to maintain that friendship. It's a pick up where we left off kind of deal. For me, it's like if I miss somebody, if I find myself thinking I should spend time with that person. That's if I pine for that relationship, it's something special. And whether it's subconscious or what, the amalgam of factors in my mind have created this desire or this need to spend time with that person. And that right there, to me, sorry for my t-shirt is causing. We're gonna have to reduce the quality of this episode so you can't see all the fuzzies floating around in this space here. It's 100% my fault. I really wanted to wear this shirt, which is brilliant. I actually got this at the end of the Oregon Trail in Oregon City. So there's that. But if I want to spend time with somebody, my brain tells me that. And I think after being around for so long, that it's become an automatic response of my system, where it's like, if it's like being in love. You want to be with that person. I think friendship is the same way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. feels a part of you that can't be satisfied with any other pursuit or person or whatever. You can't be given a certain amount of money, right? Hey, I will give you $1 trillion, but you can't have any friends anymore. It's
tempting. Sorry, but that's me.
$1 trillion, no friends.
No friends. What would you spend it on? Taking yourself out to pizza parties.
Who do you talk to? Who do you share life with? Who do you enjoy? I mean, you're married, as am I, happily. And yes, we have that person, that individual in our life that we can share things with. But if you can't have anyone else, right? I can't decide to come downstairs and bring my wife and, hey, let's talk about this new piece of tech I got. And she's not interested in that. It doesn't matter how many terabytes that holds or gigabytes that holds or how many frame rates that camera does. Yeah, well, what bytes?
Yeah.
So there has to be something that fills that hole inside of a person, and that's friendship.
Yeah,
right?
But you still have things that you have in common with your wife that if you didn't have the romantic part of your relationship, you would still have a basis for regular friendship. Mm-hmm. Like
there are things that exist that are still there. Yes.
Like my wife and I'm a hardcore Trekkie, as we all know.
Okay.
My wife is a TNG fan. She likes The Next Generation. She could, other Star Trek, she likes it. She likes it. And we watch all the Star Trek together. She likes it. But TNG is really where it's at for her. Like Patrick Stewart is her hall pass. And we have a friendship layer right there in Star Trek TNG. And so I think you obviously you must have something similar. Because when the wife and I met, a good relationship starts out with friendship, and we had an enjoyment of literature, that kind of stuff, and but it wasn't until she was like, "Oh yeah, I watched TNG with my family too," and I was like, "We're gonna get along."
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna be more than friends. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's interesting because, okay, so here's my question. It's a big one.
Oh boy, let me just put my hands down.
And it's controversial.
Oh snap!
Can
yes,
men and women be friends?
Yes. So say it again with me cutting you off.
Can men and women be friends? Actual friends?
Absolutely. And I know you disagree. But I mean, obviously, and my perspective might be skewed because of the way that I interact with people. However, I firmly believe that men and women can be friends. I know there's a lot of clickbait videos and stuff out there that say that this is absolutely not true. But I am literally right now in this very moment living with my wife and a female friend in my house. We're helping to get her back on her feet. And my wife is okay with it. I mean, it's perfectly fine and natural to me. She just seems like another person. There's no romantic feelings between us. She meets my criteria for close friendship. Emotional intelligence, that kind of stuff. I believe that it's perfectly fine. I think that if you can set the right boundaries in your mindset, that there's nothing wrong with that. And if you're confident enough in your romantic relationship, that it just doesn't come into play. I love my wife to the ends of time, There's no consideration beyond that for me. So everybody else is only gets the platonic consideration from me, man or woman, gay or straight, doesn't matter. And that's how I feel about it. I think that if I am confident enough in my relationship, in my romantic relationship, then there's no need to separate men and women from what can be considered a true friend.
Okay. Do you think that a man and a woman who are not in romantic relationships can be friends?
I think that they can be friends. I think that there's always going to be it muddies the waters, right? You know,
Because with your story, you're married happily,
yes.
and your wife adores you, and she presumably is going along with a temporary roommate in hopes of helping this individual.
She sees them in the same vein that I see them, as a friend, as a good friend in need.
So I think, just like last episode, we were opposites a lot of the time. If I ever invited a female friend to live with us, I think I might have an attorney and a court date in my future.
So for me, and I won't say that. I mean, without going into the logistics, because it's not really my story to tell. I got, before I even approached my friend about living with us, I spoke with my wife about it, and she was, her reaction was, yeah, absolutely. It was almost like it was her idea too, right? So there's that, and so I think that a level of trust and loyalty is paramount. If you're talking about unattached men and women of the same sexual proclivity, I think that there's always going to be some level of could this
Yeah, especially if you're sharing time together, a lot of time, shared interests, enjoying each other's company.
Well, yeah, I just made the statement that all the best romantic relationships start, with a friendship layer. So yeah, I think
my relationship did not. My current relationship with my wife did not start as a friendship. It was
well, no, but I mean, neither did mine. But there.
But they have those layers,
friendship qualities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm with
you.
Okay.
We met in college, and I asked her out. That's how it started.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we were homies. Pounding 40s together at the crib.
Okay.
And then I was like, hey, can we be more than friends? The problem with that dynamic is I think you're always going to have a person who, you've got emotion, intelligence, physicality. You have those three things. And you're going to have somebody who finds the friendship to be friendly on an emotional level and or on an intellectual level, and maybe and or a physical level. But the other person isn't going to have those three things. And in order to start a romantic relationship, I think that the physical layer needs to be prevalent. So that's where you end up with, say, just for sake of argument, it can go either way. You have a dude who is friend zoned by a chick because she doesn't find him physically attractive. They get together on these other two things, but the physicalness, and it can work in both ways. I think that's where that separation exists. But I agree. Well, I don't agree because you didn't make a statement to your point. But I would say that if you have two unattached people who are of the opposite sex and of the same sexual proclivity, that it's almost impossible to have a purely platonic friendship that is reciprocated 100% both ways.
Okay. So, do you think you're an outlier in this regard?
I do.
Okay.
I do. And I do.
Okay. So,
And I don't want to give.
So, would you admit that you wouldn't recommend that everyone enter into this arrangement that you have now with you as a married man invite another female who happens to be a close long-term friend?
Not unless you can guarantee the level of trust and belief in each other.
Okay.
And that my wife and I have. And it's, I mean, if it's not so set in stone that you don't even think about it, then you need to question it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because if you're like, is this going to work out? This is a good idea. You immediately need to stop.
And it wasn't like you were married yesterday. You're about to have your
19,
anniversary.
19, yeah, coming up on 19. In fact, when this airs, it'll be right around. I think this is going to air on our 19th anniversary.
Oh, lovely, beautiful. Wedding anniversary, but how many years did you have you known her?
Yes, our first date was in 2001. We got married in 2005. So we've been together for 24 years.
Okay. Yeah, we just hit our 20th anniversary of the day we met last. I know it's not October. What month are we living in?
You're almost there, bro. You got 3 days till October.
Oh, okay. Yeah, almost. We're 16. Just hit 16. Yeah, this month. It's been incredible. But I've seen countless videos online of all the TikToks.
The TikToks.
And the YouTube.
All the clickbait TikToks and the YouTube.
So good. Okay, so here's an argument against men and women being friends.
Okay.
Last episode we talked about the reciprocity.
Okay.
Is this equal? Are both of us on equal ground? So if a man is friends with a woman, are there certain expectations from one party or the other party? Do they have duties to perform as if they're going out together, as if they were a couple, but they're not? I'll give you a few examples. So, man and woman going out to dinner. Does he have to open the door if you're just friends? Is that an expectation? Is the gentleman responsible for covering the bill? Is that an expectation? If the woman is attacked and while they're strolling down Main Street, is that man responsible for protecting and preserving her life? Is that something that's known, established, or does it need to be taught? Is it expected? Where does all of that stuff fall into play? So
I think that, as a man-woman dynamic, if you are a man, the expectation you have it ingrained into you to have that protectorate quality.
I know, yeah. I have it.
Yes, I know you do. But opening things so provincial as opening the door. I'll open the door for you, son. It's fine. And we fight over paying the bill. So that's I'm always trying to pay. So I think that your argument is rooted too deeply in a romantic quality. I don't think that needs to necessarily be a part of the argument. Mm-hmm. I think that.
Well, I'm not. Just to be clear, I'm not making the argument. Yeah. These arguments are being had. They're out there on the interwebs, floating around,
and they're all based in the belief that a man has an elevated status over a woman. That's brass tacks. That's what's going on. Those TikToks are talking about how we can't be friends because we can't be on equal footing because I'm the man, I'm the provider, I'm supposed to be the strongest. That's where that stems from. But when we talk about contemporary society and how we are starting to favor intellect and emotional intelligence. Women have a deeper emotional intelligence than men by and large. And so we can be friends on that layer. I value my female friendships because I can request advice on emotional intelligence, which a lot of my dude friends would just be like, "What up, bro? Just, suck it up," that kind of stuff. Thank you. We're doing this.
It can't last forever.
No, it can't last forever, and I can't believe that we're burning through it. Make it happen.
It's happening.
Yeah. But I think that all of the arguments against men and women being friends are stemmed in the fact that those people who are making those arguments can't believe men and women can be friends. It's a paradoxical construct.
I'm not convinced that it's possible to achieve friendship between men and women in the majority of the current population that we have.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. And it's innate. It's within us. We're a species just like any other on the planet, and we're trying to survive. And there's biological urges and needs that people have. And if you spend enough time with somebody from the opposite sex, you might just land yourself into a situationship or...
Yeah, we've all seen Jungle Fever.
Yeah. It will get complicated in a hurry. But friendship aside, who do you think has more friends, men or women?
Women. So let me rephrase that before I get canceled. Are we talking about true friends, like you and I?
Yeah.
Hardcore friends?
Yes. Yeah.
Now I don't know the answer to that question, because I would say casual relationships, friends, acquaintances that spending time with a large group of people, women for sure. If we're talking about like real true friends, I would probably say men. Because
so you're talking about the quality
of the friendship
and the closeness of the friendship. Yeah. Okay, that's not what I asked. I'm just asking for number, but you've expanded upon that.
Yeah. So if you're talking about
just number,
just
pure number,
just raw friends.
Yes. The raw score goes to
women.
Okay.
Yes. But I think that because of that, women have a harder time finding deeper relationships with individuals because they're always in groups.
Well, we have evidence of this.
Don't cancel me.
Well, but you're not wrong, because there's numerous documented shows and podcast, all sorts of stuff of women on television spending time repeatedly agreeing to cohabitate or experience life with other women they don't like very well. They in fact detest much of the time, or at least have numerous complaints about.
It's funny you say that, because my friend that's living with me right now, we talk a lot, and she's very friendly, very outgoing. She's super personable. Like, my mother made the statement to my aunt who was visiting right now. My aunt didn't have the opportunity to meet my friend, but my mom has. And my mom said to describe her to my aunt, she's the kind of person that you immediately like. You cannot not like her, like right out the gate. And that I would totally agree with that. And because of that, she has myriad friends of different layers, of different levels. So she's always talking to somebody. And when we're sitting there, recounting our days or however that goes, she has on more than one occasion since she's been living with me been like, I don't even know why I'm friends with this person. But she has so many casual relationships that she categorizes as friends that she just knows all these people. And they're all women. They're all women. It's not, and it's kind of funny. The other relationships she has that are men are her deeper relationships. Like her closer relationships, and in my opinion, just from discussing this with her, and she could probably speak for her own self, are all men. So I would say yes. Men have fewer friends, but have deeper friendships.
What would you say is the average number of close friendships that an well-adjusted adult has?
Well-adjusted as like deep friends, like close friends, like trusting friends.
Close friends.
I would say it's to the tune of 4 to 6. ChatGPT says
3 to 5.
You're right there. Me and Chatty are right on the same page.
And your first answer about who has more friends is also correct. Women.
Mm.
Women have more. Women keep more friends. Research generally indicates that females tend to have more close friendships than males. Women often prioritize emotional connections and nurturing relationships, leading to a higher number of close friends. And conversely, men,
you're cool. Whatever. Go see a game.
I don't need to emotionally bond with you.
Yeah.
I don't need to nurture you.
It's so funny. So how do I want to start this monologue? You and I never touch. Aside from the occasional handshake. But I have a group of friends, music friends, that have this group culture where everybody hugs everybody every time, meeting, saying goodbye. And it's men, it's women, it's everyone. I'm not a hugger. Everyone knows this. In fact,
I'm not really as well.
No.
I will accommodate if somebody
and
wants
if people
to.
come up to me full on,
Sure.
I will embrace. But it's not my go-to. I'm not a hugger. But these people, and it's all the men, all the women in this little subset culture of friends that I have.
Mm-hmm.
They're all mad huggers. Everybody. And I hug them all. Hug them all. And so
you were a COVID super spreader.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not like we're tongue kissing. But the thing is, so and those people, I mean, there's maybe 1 or 2 people that I would consider close friends, like good friends, like call me, I'll answer kind of stuff. But the vast majority of the rest of them, they're casual acquaintances, they're friends. It's through the music, because I was in a live band. So my question is where is that an overly unnecessary emotional response to try and push the friendship, or is it authentic? And how does physical interaction is it required for those close relationships? And is it driven by the women or is it driven by the men?
You put a lot in that question.
Yeah, I did.
That was multifaceted.
Deep AF.
Yeah, there was 3 questions built in there, and I could expand on all 3.
Break it down for me, Psych.
I think it can depend on the origin of the friendship. Okay, so example, if you're playing on a sports team, right? If you're sharing locker rooms and dressing rooms and showers, and you're traveling with people or having to stay overnight, that's different, right? So, giving, someone scores a goal or makes a huge play, gets a huge, gets a big hit, or a game winner, or this or that. Like, I've been high-fived and hugged and slapped on the butt, and I've been carried off the field, right? So all of those things involving physical touch happen on the sports field. If you're living in a house with somebody, and that's where it starts, maybe, you have a posting for, you want a roommate, and so you get one, and that roommate is awesome, and they turn into your next best friend, and then some of that stuff, because of what you experience in that environment, just naturally happens and progresses into.
So I will say this. The bands that I've been in, not huggers, but when we started playing with the band that had the culture of hugging, that's when it started. And now all the guys that were exposed to that, now we're all huggers.
Yeah, your former or maybe current-ish,
Call it what you like.
bass player.
Yes.
Yeah, I know him, and he is a
hugger.
He's a hugger.
And he was a don't touch me until he joined. He
gives excellent hugs, great hugs,
and he actually played with the hugger band for a while.
And his wife too.
No, she's a mad hugger.
She
finds it particularly humorous that I'm not a hugger. And yeah, there's a series of photos, like annuals of us together on Facebook, of her embracing me and trying to get me to crack and smile.
So physical touch can be a part of a friendship, or it may not be. It just depends on the person. You have to know the person that you're in that friendship with. And if you insist on this embrace or that handshake lasting longer than they want to, or is it hurting, or is it helping your friendship? And what are you willing to give? There's going to be, if you're on this side and they're on this side, then how do you bridge that gap? Somebody's going to have to give a little bit. Somebody's only going to give everything for so long.
Yeah.
And then it's not going to work.
Yeah. So your bandmate roommates.
Yes.
Tell me a story.
Oh, I have so many. So, the
worst one. I want to hear the worst one.
Okay. So bottom bunk guy. Bottom bunk. Yeah.
Your boy bottom bunk.
So when I moved out of my parents' house, they wanted me to take these bunk beds because they didn't want them and they didn't need them, and they figured I needed a place to sleep and this was going to work. So they're going to be helping me and helping themselves. So I was like, all right, let's do this. As complicated as it was, imagine a steel bunk bed with screws that would loosen over time, and the bed would shift and it would creak and it would make noises and this and that. So not ideal. The full bed on the bottom was a futon, actually. So it folded back in and it was a couch underneath, which made the bunk up top extra high to get that headroom.
Who got that through the invention process? Someone was like, hey, I got an idea for a bunk bed futon.
Yes, they did it. And my family owned it because we thought it was brilliant. And
it's kind of inspired.
And then my parents sent me with it on my way. So top bunk in the master bedroom, bottom bunk, full bed, top twin, another twin on the side. Mario, he's over there. Kevin, bottom bunk, and his nickname was Stu. The nickname Stu was given to him by our lead singer, and I don't know how he got that nickname.
Bands are like that.
Yeah, so it was given to him. I don't think he wanted that name.
You don't get to choose.
But then he later embraced it.
They have to.
So we're in the. I think I said we use the kitchen
Sparingly.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And Stu got the bright idea to make a pizza and beer, because they go so well together, smoothie. So he did.
Hold on. You took a dramatic pause, and then you said beer, pizza, smoothie
Mm-hmm.
in the blender, I imagine.
Yes, he did.
That's so good. That's a brilliant idea.
And
We should try that.
And I witnessed that firsthand. And he took a drink after he had
Oh God, it
finished.
sounds so bad.
And yes, his face looked bad too drinking it.
God.
And it looked bad.
Just the consistency alone.
Yes. The texture that was gone, the consistency,
Oh.
it was watery and flowed out of the blender. You could hear it in the glass.
Clud.
And splash a little bit as it lands.
Oh.
All of that. True story.
So
that
who did someone drink it?
Stu did. And no one else.
Yeah.
And no one else. And
so good.
Stu, he's one of those friends. I mean, I prefer to call him Kevin. I'm a fan of people's given names. I love it. I love everyone's given name in its full form. And I like Kevin was what I preferred. I didn't really like Stu. Be that as it may.
It's funny. I love nicknames. I give everyone nicknames.
You do. And I like your nicknames because they have a reason behind them.
Usually they do.
And I could never figure out why Stu got his nickname Stu. But yeah, he was one of those friends that it was not reciprocal. His story, his life was just one big dumpster fire.
Mm.
He was sad story after sad story. But the thing was, it was so simple. It was, oh, you did this and then that happened? Oh, you did this again? And then this happened? Right. That was his life.
The definition of
that was his life. And yeah, if I share too much, he's, everyone will know. Well, no, maybe not everyone, but maybe the close friends will know who I'm talking about. So I will not delve further into the life and my experience, the life of Stu and my experience with him. But yes, he did not choose friendships and or relationships wisely, which is why our current topic is so important. If you can't figure out why you get friends and why you keep them, well, then you shouldn't have them, and you shouldn't keep them. They shouldn't be in your life. It's okay. I think people are saddened by the thought of the end. Right?
So they endure.
Yes. Rather than end this, I'm going to tolerate it.
I would agree with that. I think that I did that many times in my life. But yeah. So the takeaway is beer blender pizza.
Beer blender pizza.
Not 1 star.
But those were good guys. In the house, we used to watch The Matrix. We would watch it, and then as soon as it was done, we'd restart it. As soon as it was done again, we would start it again. And we had different focuses. We would watch, okay, let's watch the foreground. Okay, let's watch the subject. Let's watch the background. Let's look for editing errors. Let's look for the different cuts.
That is some stoner shit right there.
But we were not. We were not. But we would just do that. I know The Matrix, the movie, The Matrix with Keanu Reeves, better than
than the
Just about-
Wachowskis.
Well, I would even go a step further. I would say I know that movie probably better than most people on planet Earth right now. Because we just...
I'm sure there's a participation trophy for that.
Can I have a medal?
Well, we solved friendships.
We did solve it.
Take that with what you will. So next time we're going to be talking about the same thing, but family.
With...
A new bottle.
Or bottles.
Oh, yeah. Because family is probably going to be a bad one. So stick around for that. Thank you for joining us.
Please like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, we're waiting for our first real hardcore comment. There's been some friendly comments, but I'm waiting for someone to be like, Letter K, you're a fucking moron.
I want that too.
I want that too. Can't wait. Thank you. I just want to be called stupid one time.